Going on, game players? How are you guys doing? I'd like to welcome you guys to another bonus round stage podcast. That's right, the bonus stage podcast is here, live in effect for you guys. Now, this is the thing that I want to tell you guys. You hear the music in the background, right? I know you hear it. That's right, it's another episode of Name That Game. Let's get ready to get into it, y'all. I'm sure somebody out there wants to win a $20 PlayStation gift card. So all you have to do is name that game. We're going to get ready to throw it on in just a second. Oh man, it's been so long since I've been back on this podcast. But once again, this will not be a very long podcast. This is, of course, the bonus stage. So with that, everybody knows it's not a full-length show. Woo-wee, man, oh man. So everybody knows about the bonus stage. I had one episode. This is the show where I don't spend a whole lot of time on the news. I just give you what the news is. But before we do that, let's get into the Name That Game challenge. Here we go, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good grief, it has been such a long time. The last podcast I did was on December 24th, which was Christmas Eve. So I am back and the show will be in full swing. I also have some important news to share with you guys. The Analog Circle podcast actually has a YouTube channel now. Yes, it does. So if you want to go over there, subscribe and support, I will be doing playthroughs on different games, doing narration. That is something brand new that I really will be doing. So go over to YouTube, subscribe. All you have to do is type in the Analog Circle podcast and it's right there, folks. Outside of that, just to tell you guys what happened over the holiday season, I got some very great things. Oh man, I'm going to make this quick because this cannot be a long episode. I got to get ready to go to work in like 25 minutes. But, for that day, for the holiday season, I got a Neo Geo X. Oh yes. I got a Nintendo 64 in the box with the styrofoam. Yes, I did. I also got a Sega CD in the box. Yes. I also got an Xbox as well, an original Xbox in the box. So I got to tell y'all, I had a wonderful time. But once again, oh man, let me backtrack for a second. If any of you guys are interested in the $20 gift card giveaway for PlayStation, all you have to do is name that game. I'll give you 2 clues. The game that I just played was in the arcade. It was also on the Super Nintendo, and it involves 3 protagonists. That's all I'm gonna say. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into this news. Now, you guys know with the bonus stage, I won't be doing a lot of elaborating, just giving it to you straight. So here we go. Now, if you have been interested in Watch Dogs 2, there is a 3-hour demo available on the PlayStation 4 right now, and the same demo will be available on the 24th of this month for the Xbox One. So this week, Xbox One owners, you guys can jump on Watch Dogs. Moving on into some Capcom news. Now, Capcom is planning on making Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite a more accessible game. Now, the teams are being scaled back to traditional 2-on-2 bouts. Why, you may ask? Well, because Capcom wants more beginners jumping into the action. This time, that's according to co-producer Peter Roses, who explained players had to make roughly 6 decisions before they could fight. The people were looking for 2 characters which corresponded to their preference. But the third fighter was chosen solely because of his function. Perhaps he had a particularly strong anti-air move or something like that. This selection, felt totally superfluous. With this, we want to emphasize the feeling for a partnership and loyalty among the fighters. End quote. So, looks like this game will be another one that's accessible for new players. Moving on into some Star Wars Battlefront news. Now, it looks like Battlefront is getting a new update, which will feature balance changes to heroes, bug fixes as well. Now, the update will take up to 2.44 gigabytes on the PC. It'll take 2.9 gigabytes on the PS4, and it will take 3.9 gigabytes on the Xbox One. Moving into some PC news. Now, for PC gamers, CI Games will host a beta session for Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 on February 3rd to a select group of players where they will be able to explore a portion of the world and play 2 missions. Now, the first mission is a mission called Cut Off, where you will have to infiltrate an enemy-held communications base in order to intercept their transmission, which would help the friendly rebel forces. The second mission is called Blockout, which will require you to eliminate Ivan Krostovchev. I hope I said that right. It sounds Russian. One of the targets on your most wanted list. In both of these missions, you'll be able to complete the objective in multiple ways. Botch that. Moving on. Now, if you're interested in Halo Wars 2, there is an open beta taking place right now until January 30th. Now, the beta will have you playing a card-based mode entitled Blitz. Now, you build a deck and then deploy units trying to capture and hold control points to earn points. You can play 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, and 3 versus 3. Now, the beta will support matchmaking, but unfortunately, the progress you make in the beta will not carry over into the actual game. But you can earn 2 card packs, one for logging in, and the other for completing your first match, win or lose. Now, the beta will take up to 10.1 gigabytes on the Xbox One, and it will take 11.96 gigabytes on the PC. Now, in Nintendo news, which Nintendo has been on fire, by the way, I must say, they have really been out there. But in Nintendo news, there was a statement given by a Nintendo rep about a video streaming service being on the Switch. Now, this is the quote. All of our efforts have gone towards making the Nintendo Switch system an amazing, dedicated video game platform, so it will not support any video streaming at launch. However, support for video streaming services is being considered for a future update, which would include Netflix and Twitch. Now, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm not going to linger. Moving on. Now, 3 more games have been added to Xbox backwards compatibility. One of these being Midway Arcade Origins, which will take 199.1 megabytes of hard drive space and will cost you $20. The next game is Mutant Storm Empire, which will take 45.34 megabytes of hard drive space and will cost you $10. Last but not least is Tekken 6, which will take 6.63 gigabytes of hard drive space and will set you back $15. Moving on into some Neo news. Now, if you were worried about what the length of this PlayStation 4 exclusive game would be, then fear not. Because according to the game's director, Mr. Fumihiko Yasuda, I think I botched it, but he has told WCCF Tech in an interview that the game will take approximately 70 hours on average to beat. Now, it's not been confirmed if he was talking about just completing the main story or if that would include side quests. Moving on into some Electronic Arts news, EA has announced the dates for its EA Play event, which will take place in Hollywood, California at the Palladium and will take place from June 10th until June 12th. Now, this is the second year in a row that EA has decided to have their own event outside of E3 and will have their own standalone booth. EA also said they will divulge further details, including attendance and ticket availability in the future as the event gets closer. Just to talk about this for a second, this is the event that takes place at E3, where EA is no longer doing any official conferences, being in the mix of the big three as well as the other publishers. This is the event where they decided to go off on their own. So be on the lookout, but nonetheless, this event is June 10th until the 12th. Now, speaking of E3, this year's event, mark this on your calendar, it will take place at the Los Angeles Convention Center from June 13th until the 15th. That is E3's week, the 13th until the 15th. Mark it on your calendar. Now, moving on into some, I would say, Mario news. You guys remember Super Mario Run, and this is actually the last news story. But, you guys remember Super Mario Run? It came out on not on Android, but it came out on the Apple services. Now, if you were like myself, if you were like me and have an Android, you're an Android user like myself, you found yourself out in the cold to playing this game. Well, I'm happy to say that the game will be coming to an Android device near you very soon. Now, Nintendo of Japan announced that the game will no longer be iOS exclusive and will be available for Android devices in March. In the US, for $9.99. If you live in Australia, the game is going to set you back $14.99. And if you live in the UK, it's going to cost you $7.99. Now, if you're eager, you can actually pre-order it right now on the Google Store. So, guys, that is the end of this episode. But guess what? We are going to be right back on track. Everything is going back to normal with some hopefully great changes coming. So you guys stay tuned. It'll definitely be another episode coming at you guys on Sunday. That we'll be right back at our regular scheduled time and programming. Sorry it took me so long. This was just an icebreaker episode just to let you guys know I'm here, and it'll be no more breaks from this point on. So with that being said, once again, if you want to win that card, that $20 PlayStation gift card, you can feel free to call in your answer at 443-261-4607, or if you want to email your answer, you can email it to the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. With that, guys, that is the end of this bonus stage podcast, but fear not, because we will be right back on Sunday. So you guys take care until then, and remember, play the games. Don't play the system. It's all about the games, not the platform. You guys be easy.